version 3.5 is bringing a lot of temptations for Wuthering Waves players. And with this special broadcast airing tomorrow, players are highly anticipating the full reveal of the potential rerun banners. We've got powerful DPS characters, specialized supports, fan favorite reruns, and of course, a brand new support that many players are already calling one of the safest investments in the entire patch. The problem is that most players don't have enough Astrites to pull everyone. So, in this video, we're ranking all 6 Resonators that will or could appear in version 3.5 from lowest to highest pull priority. This isn't just about who deals the most damage, we're looking at account value, team flexibility, future usefulness, and whether a character actually improves your roster in a meaningful way. Because let's be honest, pulling a strong character feels great, but pulling a character that improves multiple teams for the next year feels even better. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? Do note that the reruns along with Yangyang SP and Suisui's kit are not yet confirmed, so please take them with a grain of salt. Coming in at the bottom of the list is Rosia. The issue is simply value. Rosia is heavily tied to purely Havoc composition, so if you're already running characters like Canella or Carlaua, then she has a place. She can contribute meaningful support and improve the performance of those teams. But outside of that specific environment, her usefulness starts dropping quickly. When we're talking about pull priority, versatility matters. Characters that can jump between multiple team archetypes naturally provide more value to the average count. Rosia doesn't really do all of that. She's a specialist, and specialists can be excellent, but they rarely become high priority recommendations unless your account is specifically built around their niche. For most players, there are simply better uses for those Astrites. Now, looking for cheaper than in-game top-ups? Use my LootBar link down in the description and pinned comments for a massive up to 25% in discounts. New users using my link gets an instant 8% discount coupon as well. Trusted with enhanced security features, LootBar offers the cheapest deals and fastest delivery time. You can do their do-it-yourself top-up or my personal preferred option, the direct no-password top-up where you only provide your UID and region. This is a practical way to save big while supporting the channel. Always spend responsibly, and thank you for using my LootBar link and helping keeping the lights on here. Now, back to the video. Number 5 is Cantarella. This placement might shock some people because Cantarella actually brings a fairly interesting toolkit to the table. She offers coordinated attacks, contributes additional damage, and even provides some healing utility. On paper, that all sounds very attractive. The problem is similar to Rosia's situation. A lot of her value is concentrated within Havoc-focused teams. And while she performs her role very well, she doesn't necessarily transform an account the way top-tier supports often do. When evaluating a character's pull value, one of the biggest questions is simple: what happens if I don't have this character? And for many accounts, the answer with Cantarella is honestly not much. Your existing teams will continue functioning just fine. Your progression won't suddenly hit a wall. She's a good character, she just isn't the type of character that completely changes the way you build teams or approach content. And in a patch filled with stronger investments, that pushes her towards the lower end of the rankings. Now we move into the middle of the list with Brandt. Brandt is actually one of the easiest characters to recommend to newer players. Unlike the previous 2 entries, Brandt is not trapped inside a narrow niche. He can function as a DPS, he can contribute as a sub-DPS. He's flexible, straightforward, and relatively easy to understand. That's a very valuable combination. The reason he doesn't rank higher comes down to competition. Fusion teams already have access to several powerful options. Because of this, Brandt doesn't feel mandatory anymore. He's more of a luxury addition than a roster-saving investment. So if you like his gameplay, you'll probably have a great time with him. And if you skip him, your account isn't actually going to suffer that much. That's really the key difference. Brant is a strong pull. He's just not the strongest use of Astrites in version 3.5. And then at number 3, we have what might be the most underrated character in this entire lineup. We're talking about Carlotta. And for some reason, discussions about top DPS characters don't always include her name, and that's a huge mistake because Carlotta is incredibly reliable. She's consistent, she's safe, and perhaps most importantly, she doesn't demand a PhD in combat rotations in order to perform well. You know exactly what you're getting. A powerful Glacial carry that can comfortably clear endgame content without turning every fight into a complicated puzzle. There's a lot of value in that simplicity. Not every player wants to optimize frame-perfect rotations or memorize complicated setups. Sometimes you just want a character that actually performs. And Carlotta actually performs. So if your account lacks a strong Glacial DPS, she's one of the easiest recommendations in the patch. The only reason she doesn't reach the top 2 spots is because support characters generally age better than damage dealers. Which brings us to the final 2. Yangyang SP or Xuanling enters version 3.5 with all the signs of a premier hyper carry. She's flashy, she's powerful, and she's already generating a lot of excitement among players looking for their next main DPS. From a pure damage perspective, she has all the ingredients needed to become one of the defining characters of the current meta. New players especially will find her appealing. Heavy attack focused gameplay, big numbers, strong carry potential. What's not to like? Well, there is one thing: history. Because gacha games have taught us the same lesson over and over again. No matter how powerful a DPS character looks today, there's always another DPS waiting around the corner. That's why Yangyang or Xuanling narrowly misses the top spot. It's not because she's weak, it's because DPS units naturally face more competition over time. She's absolutely one of the best pulls in version 3.5, but there's one character offering even more long-term value. Because taking the number 1 spot is Suisui. And this wasn't a particularly difficult decision. The reason Suisui ranks first isn't because she's dealing the highest damage. It's because she solves problems. And characters that solve problems tend to stay relevant for a very long time. Suisui brings healing, she brings energy support, she provides utility that multiple teams can benefit from. More importantly, she helps address one of the biggest issues many accounts face: support shortages. A lot of players have 1 or 2 premium supports doing all the heavy lifting across multiple teams. The moment endgame content requires those supports in different places, things start getting awkward. Suisui helps relieve that pressure. She can slot into multiple archetypes and she can support different carries. And she gives players more flexibility when building teams. That kind of value is difficult to replace. Even if future DPS characters arrive and start pushing damage ceilings higher, a versatile support that improves team functionality remains useful. That's why Suisui stands at the top of this ranking. Not because she's the flashiest character, not because she has the biggest numbers, but because she's the safest investment for the largest number of players. Of course, if one of these characters happen to be your favorite, pull for who you enjoy. Fun should always come first. But if your goal is maximizing account value and spending your Astrites as efficiently as possible, Suisui currently looks like the safest bet in version 3.5. Let me know your own ranking in the comment section below. And as always, if this video resonated with you, please leave a like and subscribe, ring that bell for massive gacha luck and maybe a sandwich. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po and I will see you in my next video drop. Goodbye!